So how are you? Welcome to Knoxville.
Thank you so much. I'm doing very well.
So how do you like it here? I know you're a bit within a building the whole time, but how do you feel here?
Oh, it's great. It's nice to just drive around and see old haunts, even if I'm not really socializing that much.
Yeah. So today these are all related to the pandemic. I know it's not a very happy, positive thing, but it's something I think it's very important for everyone to remember because there is a lot that we learned during these very challenging times for everybody. Since the pandemic started, how has your life changed?
You mean like as of now or like during the pandemic? Because these are like two different things for me.
That's a very good thing to bring up.
So when the pandemic first hit, I was in rehearsal with Indianapolis Opera for Don Giovanni, and I am married to a healthcare worker, and I have a small child. So I went from full-time working opera singing mom to support wife, stuck at home, making sure my husband kept his sanity while he helped with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big shift, but I found different ways to bring joy. I can't help myself. So my favorite story for the pandemic, the thing that really changed for me was the audience and what I present. And I know that sounds weird because we haven't been doing any opera, but on Easter Sunday, my neighbor and I were really good friends, came out and she was saying how upset she was that she wasn't going to get to hear her favorite hymns for Easter. And I thought, well, I can fix that. I have a superpower. I can be heard without a microphone. And on Easter, I don't know if you grew up Christian, but like everyone has these like really big singing things, and she missed all of that. So I was like, well, let's meet in our cul-de-sac. I want to hear, she has 3 really talented kids. I said, I want to hear all the recital pieces. I'm going to sing Jesus Christ is Risen Today. We're going to sing some other hymns. And I decided to sing Be Not Afraid for Mendelssohn's Elijah. And it was the most magical thing ever. All the neighbors like came out into the cul-de-sac because it was like peak pandemic, right? And I was like, oh, look at this. Like I have a connection with people. This is amazing. So my neighbor and I gave 23 different cul-de-sac concerts through the year of varying genres, from cover songs, opera, rock and roll. I learned the banjo so we could play bluegrass together. And that changed my life because I'm much more open to different genres of music. He made me learn piano man, right? And so, yeah, that's changed for me, and which is really lovely because it opens up a lot of different doors.
Oh, that's a silver lining. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that leads into my second question. For a performer in the pandemic, you quickly pivoted and did a lot of remote and record.
Boy, did I.
So what was that like to go from having to make your voice fill a concert hall or an opera theater to making sure your voice doesn't clip when you're just recording something on your phone or at home?
I mean, I had recorded some things remotely before, so I already had the toys. I already had a ring light and external microphone. The scariest thing for me was I refused to play with a track. I didn't want to do opera karaoke because I suck at karaoke, mainly. For me, it was easier to just play it and sing it at the same time, either on piano, ukulele, or banjo, or toy piano, because that makes it a little more interesting. So that was a challenge, honestly. The first concert I did from home was for Opera on Tap, New York. And it was like, what's the theme of your concert? I'm like, the theme of the concert is these are songs that I can play and sing at the same time. That's my theme. So that was the biggest challenge, and also to keep it visually interesting, because I noticed that when I was watching these live from home events, I was getting visually bored by the stagnant image. So I costume planned. I have a collection of vintage hats. So I made sure I had a different hat for each song. But handling all of that, plus the tech thing, plus there's no childcare. I have a small child at home, so coordinating like, is my husband around? Or there were a couple of concerts I did for Sing for Hope just during his nap, which was like, okay, I have to beat my face, get everything ready, and also like get my son down for his nap before I could do any of those. And it was really just the juggling. I didn't realize how spoiled I was until I wasn't spoiled anymore. I really look forward to being spoiled again.
That is great. Okay. Now, you've addressed most of my other questions, which is absolutely wonderful. my last question for you is what shows are you looking forward to doing again and just fully staged all the bells and whistles?
Well, I'm actually really lucky. The show that we had to pause at Indianapolis, the Don Giovanni, that's one of my favorite ones. It's Mozart. I just love singing Mozart. They're going to do that again in the fall. And it was a really special cast. It had a bunch of friends in it. One of my best friends was conducting it. And they're just hiring everyone back, like the same production. Because we got right up to the final room run before everything got shut down. And we recorded the final room run, which thank goodness, because it was like a magical musical event. But also now I'm like, oh, look at that staging that we're going to have to remember now. Cool. So I'm really looking forward to the Don Giovanni and Indianapolis Opera. And I'm like, fingers crossed for my Christmas gig, because I really love my Christmas gig with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. We do a big Yuletide production, and it wasn't Christmas without it this year. So I'm really looking forward to those two things.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with me and taking time out of your day to sit with me at this dusty piano. It will be played again, and the dust will be cleaned off.
Dust will be cleaned off. Look, we're going to take a selfie, post it on the Insta.